Good morning, everyone. So today, Ramiro and I are going to be talking about different ways to build your career. And finding your way in tech is very much like building a taco. And so that's what we're going to talk about. There's no single recipe to make a good taco. There's no perfect plan. There's no one right path to success in tech either. So just to get the right mix of spices, whatever it is that you like, to learn to trust people, to learn how to participate in the community, you're going to layer all of those things together in your own unique way to make your career path or to make your taco in tech.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about how we both started in very different places of the world, of tech, of all those things, and how we ended up at the same stage. And why I hope that by the end of this talk, you'll get a sense of why we both believe that being authentic, making your own choices, making your own way, is really the only way.
So I'm from New Mexico. New Mexico is a land of enchantment. It's a land of green chili. It's got a lot of Native Americans. It's got zero tech infrastructure for the most part, just a lot of open land. And when I was growing up, tech was something that happened somewhere else. It was not something that I knew anything about or had any contact with. It was something that was truly, in my mind, was happening somewhere else in the world. Because I was in the middle of basically nowhere. If you've never been to New Mexico, there's not much that's new about it, and there's also not much that's Mexico either. But tech was not something that was there, but there were tacos and flour tortillas, and so that's where I grew up and came from.
And I'm from Old Mexico, Guadalajara, to be precise, which is one of the most famous cities in Mexico. Tacos, mariachi, tequila is what we're known from, but also tech. For the longest time, Guadalajara has been called the Silicon Valley of Mexico. So when I was growing up, different from Cortney, I knew tech was a thing. I knew it was a possibility. I knew you could make a career out of it. But I had no idea what my path would be to tech. And of course, being from Mexico, I very well know that tacos are really made from corn tortillas, not flour, but you know.
So every taco starts with a base. And in my case, my base is actually playing sports. My flour tortilla, the one that I got started with, were playing sports. I played a lot of different sports growing up, basketball, soccer, ran track, but I really spent a lot of time playing softball on the softball field. And you can see at one time, I was a kid. It doesn't feel like it most days when I look at my own, but I was a kid once playing a lot of softball. And what I learned from that was very much my base in getting started in my career in tech, is that you can do a lot more working together than what you can do building with just individual talent. And that has very much guided my way in getting started in this space.
And my base was more traditional, the corn tortilla of bases. Everybody loves a corn taco. I do. So my career was, playing video games when I was a kid, still do. Go into middle school, start to tinker with computers. Eventually that led to going to engineering school, internship at Microsoft, and then here I am in tech. So for me, my engineering background was really helped me to understand that this is all about not solving problems, but really creating possibilities. And that's what I've learned through my life, is you have to do with what you have. You have to find out what you're good at. You should not regret, I didn't go to the right school. I don't have the right job. I don't have the right opportunities. No, it's like find what makes you unique. Find that base layer, whether corn, flour, or anything else, and really use that to your advantage, because that's really what it's all about. Like we all have very unique trajectories. No one is like you. No one can do what you do best. And that to me is really what makes us all unique, and how you can use that to really power through a career in tech.
So once you have your base, you then need to start filling it with different things. You got to move on to any type of filling, and they can all be very different, as you can see in our picture. But you got to have some protein, some chicha, right? So I know that This might sound strange, but side projects are oftentimes the best chicha or the best filling or heavy protein that you can possibly put in your tech career. And I know this to be true because it happened to me. I started off in the Kubernetes space writing a newsletter for the Data on Kubernetes community when that community had been in existence for maybe 6 months and had maybe 6 members in it. But that was how I started to learn about Kubernetes. It's how I started to learn about community. It's how I actually started to learn how to network with people and know how things worked. So side projects oftentimes give you the ability to start doing things that are important to you. None of them are going to be perfect, but they are ways to be able to learn, to get yourself out there, and to figure out who you are, what's important to you, and how things go.
And I'm really a big fan of side projects. I've benefited personally from them. I've always built open source, but a few years ago, I had this prototype that I built to kind of scratch my own itch of this problem I had at work. That code turned into an open source project, and a couple of years later, it turned into a startup. Now I'm the founder of this company called Okteto, and it all started with this side project that myself and one of my best friends did together. And that's an example, one of many, of why it's very important to build these things, because for me, a side project is a bet on yourself. First of all, it's a great way to acquire skills. It's a great way to explore new ideas, new technologies. But most importantly, it's a real good way to teach yourself that you don't need permission to do things, that you don't need permission to create value, to learn, to grow, to do other things. All you need is curiosity and a willingness to try, fail, and try again.
So that brings us to the toppings. These are really going to be the tomatoes, the onions, the cheeses of the world of tacos. And it's very much being willing to learn, grow, pivot above all, and then trust the process of success. These are the things that really are necessary, and you need to use them in abundance. They don't just make your taco better, they make your life better, they make your career better, and they are absolutely important in everything that you do.
In engineering, you learn very soon that failures are an opportunity to learn to know how to do things better and to gain some actionable information. That is how growth really happens. You fail, you're facing something new, you need to make a decision, you need to make some hard choices, and then you think about it, you do it, and you do it again. That is growth. Trusting yourself and your ability to find a way through a problem is fundamental. And it's something that you're going to learn by doing, but really by just being generous with yourself, by being willing to try, and again, being willing to fail. And this is like, I always tell my team and my friends, the only failure is not doing things, right? Failure is not a good thing, no one likes to fail, but it's very important to learn from it, no? And this is what gives you depth, this is what gives you wisdom, this is what puts flavor into things. This is how we all get better. Because really the only way to fail is when you decide not to do anything about it. No, there's no bad tacos. Some are better than others, but at the end of the day, a taco, when you're hungry, it's always a good thing.
So that's going to bring us to the spices. Everything needs a little bit of spice, and in this space, it's always going to be community, connection, and mentorship. These really are something that you should sprinkle on abundantly. It's not often that you have the opportunity to be at an event like KubeCon, so you're already doing a great job sprinkling on some spice. Ramiro and I met each other at a KubeCon event, and we've been super spicy ever since. I think a lot of our friends, Danielle, would agree. But the truth is, you are already doing a great job getting started in your tech career by being at an event like this. It's not often you have this many people in the same space, interested in the same things, looking to network, have different ideas, share their experiences, and get involved with you. So these types of events are incredibly important. They are going to be the spice of your career, and oftentimes they're going to lead you to successes that you didn't know you'd ever actually experience.
Now, attending these events is really one of the better accelerators of your career. The other one is find mentors. I've benefited from that a lot. I've been coming to these events for years now, almost from the first one, and really finding someone who's a step or two ahead of you is a great way to get ahead. Someone you trust, someone you can ask actionable advice. Hey, I have this problem. I'm thinking about this. I ran into this challenge at work or with my peers. Just having somebody who can help you out and give you, hey, I did this 2 years ago. It's a huge, huge hack. So please, we're all here together. This is a fantastic community. Just ask for help. You'll be surprised of how much you get by just asking.
Now, some spices bring heat. And we can't talk about building a taco without talking about a little bit of heat. And in this case, it's oftentimes going to be imposter syndrome. I struggle with this exponentially. And the truth is, I have yet to find anybody in the space that doesn't. There's always something new to know. There's always something you don't know. There's so many different niche projects. But a little bit of heat is really, really necessary, not just when you're building a perfect taco, but also in your career, because what it means is that you're getting to the end of your comfort zone, and that means that you're growing and that you're learning and that you're doing things that are important. So don't shy away from the heat.
Yeah, everybody has imposter syndrome. I've been lucky enough to meet some very well-known people in our community in tech. And I always ask them that question, hey, do you ever feel nervous when you're giving a talk or doing something? And 100% of people says yes. So very important, don't wait for the perfect moment, just do the thing. That is what really matters. If you get one thing out of this talk is, please do the thing. And, pay it forward. We're running out of time, so just please pay it forward. I do these talks because I want to help others the same way I've been helped. So remember, when you mentor, also find opportunities to mentor others. We all have something unique that we can teach each other. We all have something that makes us very special, and others look up for us. So please, make sure, once you leave this room, pick one person in the conference and help them with something. And make sure it's not transactional. Help them because you can. Help them because you care.
And that brings us to the final end. Our conclusion for all of this is that there is no perfect taco. They're all exceptional. They're all good. Whether you have a flour tortilla or a corn tortilla, no matter what your fillings are, no matter how you got here today or where you end up, there's no perfect taco. There's no perfect path in your career. But they're all great. And so you should enjoy them all. And that leaves us asking all of you, what's going to be the first ingredient and the base of your taco?
Thank you very much, everybody. It was a pleasure to be here. I hope you enjoy the conference, and we'll see you outside.